tell me about your beef with Raffi again.
I think it's the wimpiest bullshit I've ever seen in my life. I think I like Led Zeppelin, I like Van Halen, and I see this little nerd like Raffi singing to kids. And it's just, this is wimp shit.
Oh, okay. So you just think he's soft?
It's wimpy. It's just the corniest music, seeing him up there with the guitar, strumming the guitar like an asshole up there.
It's for kids, Mike. You know?
I don't know. It's just wimpy stuff. You know?
Yeah, well, what do you play for your daughter?
Led Zeppelin,
AC/DC, got it. Yeah.
Molly Hatchet, Crowbar, Pantera, U2, Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest.
You threw U2 in there.
They have some some of their early stuff is like kind of like punk stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Kind of hard.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me wrong, I like music that can be quiet. I like Coldplay, Radiohead. What else is like that? Toad the Wet Sprocket.
The Toadies.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah. I had a Toadies album way back when. A CD. Mother Love Bone. Temple of the Dog.
Yeah. The albums I have on rotation are Toadies, Tripping Daisy, Blind Melon.
Nice.
Yeah, Four Non Blondes, Spin Doctors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Ash, you know that band? They did that Kung Fu song. Like a Jackie Chan. And whoa.
I think you've played it for me before.
Yeah. Great tune.
It's a really particular, easygoing 90s vibe.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the kind of tunes that I'm trying to get my daughter into.
The Laws.
Better Than Ezra, Candlebox.
Yeah.
They were more on the grunge end. I kind of steer away from that a little bit. That one Butthole Surfer song they played on the radio.
Oh, right. You can only take so much of them. There's some of their stuff that just gets kind of weird.
Yeah, very aggro.
What was that band that was just so good that we used to listen to? Eve 6 was good. Fastballs were a great band. Great bunch of albums.
Goldfinger's good. There's some ska in there.
311 leads me to Goldfinger. I feel like they have a similar front man.
Hey, John.
What's up? We're talking music.
Yeah, I was talking about the vibes that I'm trying to instill in my daughters. Goldfinger, Better Than Ezra, Tripping Daisy, Blind Melon, Real Big Fish.
Op Ivy.
Op Ivy is a little bit too hard.
You think they're too? Yeah, they're pretty hard.
A little bit too gritty. I don't want my daughter to see that part of the world. I went to so many fucking ska shows. It's embarrassing. I've seen them all. All those fucking dumb bands. I've seen them all.
The thing is that people talk about music they like. You got a lot of armchair music critics, but you really need to go see these bands live to really understand what they're bringing to the table. I think a lot of these a lot of these guys cut off circulation to the lower halves of their bodies. Their genitals don't quite work, so they think they get a big brain. Yeah. The big brain disease where they think they know everything because they're chatting to a bunch of 14-year-olds on the internet. Thing is you have to go outside. You have to actually walk around. A lot of these places are wheelchair accessible, so you can get inside of these shows since you can't walk anymore because you've just been sitting on your butt all day long playing video games, entertaining 14-year-olds and trying to get them to send you pictures and stuff. But you really got to go see the bands live like we used to do.
Yeah. Like you can shit on Aquabats and Less Than Jake and stuff all you want, but there are a bunch of motherfuckers that were following those dudes around. They just dedicated their whole life to the scene, just made money selling pants that they made from other pants.
It was like a tribe. It was like a roving tribe.
Yeah, it's just like it's the touring music scene for music fans that aren't deadheads, that don't like jam bands, where are you going to go? We got two other options: ska bands and Insane Clown Posse. Nothing against ICP.
No, absolutely not. They know where their border ends and ours begins. Like they know when they're not
they don't bother us. We don't bother them.
We don't bother them. Yeah, we respect them. It's their thing they do over there.
Yeah, that should be. John, there are a lot of juggalos in Ohio.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, I feel like that's deep juggalo territory. Yeah. I will say I've never met a juggalo I didn't like, and that's true.
Yeah, they're good people.
Yeah, they seem like they're decent guys. Guys and gals.
They're pretty fucking dumb, but
that's true.
They're nice people,
and their taste is just trash and like everything.
It's unbearable.
Yeah,
unbearable. Yeah, they love Kevin Smith.
Yes.
Early Kevin Smith movies.
Love Rob Zombie movies.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
Yeah, good people.
Yeah, they would take you into their house and clothe you and feed you if you were down and out. Food would suck. You'd have to. You'd have to endure a lot of just really heinous music and movies and stuff like that. But it'd be fun. You'd get pretty fucked up.
They knock you down a peg and take the piss out of you a little bit, but they do. It's all good fun. They do that to everyone.
I think it'd be good for you. It would be good for me, anyways. Welcome to the Fantasy Cast podcast, where three grown men pass the time by sharing their deepest, darkest fantasies. Here we go. What have you guys been up to?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Working on my body.
Oh yeah, you trying to get cut that weight down?
Yeah, I'm just trying to eat good.
What you got there, man? Show us what you got.
Oh yeah, getting some of the little bit of definition back in your chest, your pecs.
It's the tits.
The tits are a menace. They're impossible to get down.
Yeah, they're hard. That's the sugar. You get rid of the sugar and the tits are gone.
Is that right?
Yeah. Quickly too.
Yeah, I was had a lot of fun this weekend. I was at the Push International, the Push-In conference in Toronto. I think I was telling you guys about that. It's an international conference for push-ins and push-in community and culture. Basically, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a new community that's in the sex community called push-ins, where basically if you like putting anything in your ass, you're a member of that community. And they've just kind of rapidly within the last year kind of stormed the scene, and they just put on a really great conference. I went there and did a talk on politically organizing push-ins. Did you guys know that like 7% of the population of registered voters identify as push-ins? Did you guys know that? 150 million people voted in 2020. 7% of that is like 20 million people. That's a voting block, guys. So how do you get those people to advocate for pro-push-in policies? Like there's probably, we haven't even identified, there's probably a whole bunch of push-ins already in elected positions that we could get. It's nonpartisan. It supersedes race, gender, sexual orientation. Anybody can be a push-in. Huge umbrella, really inclusive. They did this really great thing at the end of the conference where they did a push-in countdown. About 10,000 people in the arena where the Raptors play, and they counted down to from 10 to 0, and at 0 everybody pushed something in. And so you're in a room, imagine that, a room with a whole bunch of this like-minded people all doing the thing that they love sexually at the same time. The community there is just unbelievable. Really nice guys. Push-ins are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
This is something you can't get online. This is something you can't get on Twitter. This is something you have to put on your pants, you put your shoes on. You got to go out there. You got to put your pants on both of your legs. Go out there, whatever the weather, take public transportation, go there and be amongst your push-in, whatever. I don't want to say brothers or sisters, but your push-in peers.
Absolutely.
I love
and they're
that.
so
That's
inclusive. It's
beautiful.
like you could, and they're so inclusive. It's like you could, whether you're just somebody who likes to stick a pinky finger up there every now and then, or maybe you're just a push-in advocate, like you know, your partner likes to get pushed in or pegged or something like that, and it's not really your thing, but you're supportive. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome.
You're getting robotic.
Say it again, Mike.
Your mic's getting crazy.
I'm robotic.
Yeah, it sounds. Yeah, like it's scary.
As soon as you said packed, it sounded insane.
Yeah, it's like
I hope I record it like that.
And it sounded like this now. My name's Nathan. I went to the stupid thing, and everyone was so happy to see me, and I had friends for once in my life. And everyone at the push-in community gathered around me, and they pushed me around, and they said that I was not so cool.
Is it still there? Is it still there, John?
Is it still?
How about now?
Is it still there, guys? Please tell me if it's still there or not. I'm starting to get seriously angry.
his fucking image froze. Look at this guy. He's getting so pissed off.
Oh, yeah. He's so fucking angry.
Look at that forehead. Jesus Christ.
Oof. Ooh.
Little pushing.
You said if your partner likes to get packed. What's up with this?
He broke his computer crash. He's restarting now. Oh no. John, so how are you doing?
I'm good.
You've been working your body pretty hard, huh?
I've just been eating like a person that doesn't want to have a heart attack at 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just gotta. What's your death date? Your death goal. Yeah, your death goal. How long do you want to live?
Mid 70s, maybe 80s.
Oh wow,
that'd be ideal.
Jeez,
it's probably going to be sooner than that, but probably my late 40s. What's up, Nathan?
Couple years. So, what's the biggest takeaway from the Push-In International Convention?
Just the sense of community and how they'll accept anybody and bring anybody into it. And whether you're just like an ally, maybe your partner likes to get pushed in and you're not interested in being pushed in, you're welcome. It's a big umbrella. Everybody's welcome.
Beautiful.
Wow, that's cool. You really just, if you want to build a community, you have to find like-minded people, get together in public, and that's what politics is. If you feel like you're not being heard, you have to find people that are like you, put a name on it, start advocating for yourself, meet up in public, and do the legwork.
That's right, Mike. Absolutely right. Yeah, so you want to, introduce us, Mike? I feel like you're really good at it. And I also think that if you want to just go ahead and tell folks what we're going to be talking about tonight, how we're going to be fantasizing.
Hey, everyone. What's going on? This is Mike. This is the Fantasy Podcast from Chicago. Nathan is also in the show, too. Does a lot of the editing. He's, we got John here, as usual. And that's all three of us. John is in Ohio, I think. He's working on his body. We're three guys. We work on our bodies. We talk about fantasies, sexual or regular. And we're just here to inspire other people to talk about their fantasies, whatever they may be, violent, sexual in nature, maybe taboo. It's not like earlier on we were talking about Nathan talking about push-ins, and maybe it's like maybe you're into something like that. And we want people to explore that. You need to talk about the dream, really throw their dreams out there. And see what happens. It's all too often to this day and age, people don't want to hear you talk. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Certain people don't want to hear what you have to say because of who you are. And I just wanted to say this is a safe place, a place for care, a place for us to share our the things we think about, you know what I mean? And that's it. And so today we're going to talk about celebrities we want to torture. So last episode, I really explored this fantasy of not even kidnapping Ricky Gervais, just more like holding him hostage. And I think it was kind of one of my favorite fantasies I've ever had. And it concluded with me just simply being loved by a woman, being accepted by them. It really struck a chord with me because I don't think that's ever happened in my entire life. Just finding a woman that just like was nice and liked me. And I don't think that's ever happened before. There was nothing like demented, manipulative, or conniving about it. It was pure love. It just never happened. But really, the funny part was the Ricky Gervais. That's what I really wanted to explore. And I think, I don't know. I think I resonated with the other fellas on the podcast. And I'd really like to hear what they've been thinking about and showing on.
Yeah. And one thing I just want to jump in on. Last time I had a celebrity fantasy, it got misconstrued. It was basically a rough sex fantasy with Huey Lewis, and it got misconstrued as me wanting to. A bunch of people online said that I wanted to rape Huey Lewis, and they got us all kicked off of Reddit for it.
Mm-hmm.
This is not. We don't want to do these things to these celebrities. This is art. This is fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go on trying to get us kicked off of social media because we're talking about a fun fantasy where we imagine ourselves torturing a celebrity. It's not something that we actually want to do. I didn't actually want to rape Huey Lewis, and it was consensual, but here I am kicked off of Reddit. So that being said, I don't know if
I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah, just haters. Just haters doing hater shit is what that is.
Nothing new.
Can I do just a quick impression that I was thinking about today? There's this kid riding a bike, and he was like singing a rap song talking about how much weed he smokes.
Mm.
And I pictured myself saying to him, I was like, young fella, come here, young fella. Come here, young fella. You can't fade me. You cannot fade how much tree I smoke. You cannot fade me. I smoke more than you. J after J after J, back to back. You can't fade me, son. You can't fade me. That's what I wanted to say to him.
I could see Denzel doing that.
Mm-hmm.
The way you said it a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's an older guy, so it makes sense for them.
Yeah. I just wanted to stop him and be like, endless J's back to back. 3 5-size J's. Roll it up, twist it up, blow it, back to back. Endless. You'd fall asleep before I even got started. Now, you young fella, you're out here getting pussy. You're out here getting that bag up. I respect that. I appreciate that. But you can't smoke like me. You cannot smoke like I do. You and me are not the same.
The lone teenager walking down the street rapping to himself.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends on how angry I am at that time when I see them.
Mm-hmm.
Some days I see a kid doing that, I'm just like, would you shut the fuck up, you dumb idiot? Do you think you're going to get discovered walking down the street like mumble rapping to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Other days I'm just like, I'm glad you're expressing yourself.
Yeah.
Having a good time. Just do it. Who cares?
Yeah, nobody just drawing attention to himself. Maybe you'll look over
Why
and
not?
maybe it's not the rapping that draws your attention. Maybe you look over at him because he's rapping and you're like, oh man, I just like his whole energy, I just want to be around him. Yes, I don't know.
Some of them I want to sign.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, a lot of these kids I think I'd say like 50% are worth signing. Squeeze a couple bucks out of them.
Yeah. I heard that's how Little Xan got signed as he was on the bus coming back from his job, and he was like rapping into his chest, with his hoodie up.
Yeah.
And a big time record producer was on the bus at the same time. It was like, you got it. You got what it takes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys want to? When you guys want to jump in and tell us who your celebrity is and how you torture him? If not, I'm happy to go.
I need some time. I think. Looks like I'm wearing a bald cap. Look at this.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way the light's hitting it looks like fake
It's
skin.
fake. Like I have hair and it's like fake.
Yeah.
You go for it, Nathan.
All right. So the celebrity I'm going to be torturing in this fantasy is BJ Novak of The Office. He played the like wienery intern who was begrudgingly dating Mindy Kaling. And I guess he's also a writer from the show. I don't know that much about him outside of The Office, but he just always don't really have anything against him, really. I guess he just always struck me as kind of smug, and his character was self-serving, and I don't know if he wrote it or it got written to the point where it just really distracted from the show and the trajectory it took. So basically in this fantasy, I own like a tech company. It's one of those like companies where you don't know what it is or what they do, but somehow they make a lot of money. And I want to make an offer to BJ to be in a Super Bowl ad, and I offer him like $10 million, and I contact his agent. He stars in it. I bring him on to help like the creative process, and I send the contract over, and his lawyer's like, this contract is really favorable. Like you get a lot of perks in it, and it includes a clause in there that says, upon completion of filming, but not before, BJ will have access to all company's property, including vehicles and domicile. And the lawyer's like, that's kind of a weird, I've never seen anything like that, but I think what they're trying to say is like, after you get this thing done, you have access to like, you know, you can drive one of their cars around, you can stay at one of their properties, whatever. So I think it's like an added perk. And BJ's like, yeah, okay, I'll sign. So we fly him out to Vegas, and he's brought to the company ranch, which is like 3-4 hours outside of Vegas in the middle of the desert, like literally in the middle of nowhere. Like there's probably not another house or person for like 30 miles in every direction. It's a really nice town car. It's like a full bar, and he says to the driver, hey, can I charge my phone? And the driver's like, sorry, this vehicle doesn't have the capacity to charge. And it sounds weird, but there'll probably be something for you once you get to the ranch. So he arrives at the ranch, and I'm standing out in the front, like it's got one of those like full circle driveway things, and I'm standing out front with like two beautiful women who are in like business attire, so they're like professional, but they're gorgeous. I'm like, BJ, I'm a huge fan of The Office, a huge fan of your work there. Your character was rich and interesting, and I'm so glad that you could come out and be a part of this project. Show them to the guest house. It's like gorgeous and modern, original art from really cutting edge artists, infinity pool. And it's like out away from the main house. And he puts the stuff down. He goes to charge his phone, and he sees that all the outlets are the European outlets. So like his charger doesn't work for it. None of his things that involve like power work for it. And he opens the fridge, and it's stocked with like really nice spring water. But they're all the spring waters in like old like vodka bottles. And one of the women that takes him up there is like, this company is really into sustainability, so we recycle all of our stuff. So you'll see that all of our water is like spring water in different bottles, and we reuse like different plastics and things like that. So there's like a basket with a bunch of M&Ms and like pill bottles, and just like other like basically garbage reused as packaging somehow. And BJ's like, oh, cool, I dig that. That's cool. You know, it's a good concept. He spends the night. He wakes up the next morning. We're like, we're just going to ease you into the filming, writing process. For breakfast, we bring him up a fruit cocktail for breakfast. For lunch, he gets a salad. And for dinner, he gets 1 ounces of salmon and with water, chestnuts, and celery. And like the total calories per day is like 400 calories. So it's like barely anything. And filming, so he's like, it's really good quality though, so he's like he's just eating a lot of the M&Ms and stuff like that, and he's like, maybe the next day they'll like feed us more, there'll be like a craft table at filming. So filming begins, and we bring him in, and he looks at the script, and the script calls for him to be dressed up like a baby with like a diaper and a bonnet. and he has to impersonate different races using like offensive stereotypes. And he immediately is like, if this comes out, I'm done. Like, I'm like gonna get canceled immediately. So he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. So he's like, thanks for flying me out. You guys have been very hospitable, but I just can't do this. This is not worth the money. It's gonna ruin my career. Can you please take me home? And I'm like, gosh, I'm sorry, Mr. Novak, but your contract clearly states that you're unable to access any vehicle until filming is complete. But you're free to leave any time. He's like, the fuck? So he stays on the ranch trying to reason with me, but I'm really firm about this. I'm like, it wouldn't be ethical. I can't break the contract like that. He starts to like go to the different cast and cameraman and a lighting guy, and he's like, hey, can one of you guys give me a ride back to town, or do you guys have a phone we can use? And they're like, no, we don't. And our phones don't get reception out here, and none of us drove. We all got rides out here. So he goes back to his room, and he notices that like the temperature fluctuates really badly in his room at night. So he's just really can't get comfortable. And at the same time, in the basement of the guest house, I have band practice every night. I play songs that are like I play a slow version of, I like the old time rock and roll by Bob Seger. I play a version of Uptown Girl, and I play a version of Crocodile Rock. I'll sing it in the same key, but like I'll change up the melody. So it'll be like, I want that old time rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes my soul. I'm reminiscing about days of old. I want that old time rock and roll. It's just, and I do that with all of them. It's like, Uptown Girl, she's living in her white bread world. And so I just play these songs over and over and over again. And BJ's like, you guys shut the fuck up. I'm trying to sleep. I'm like, sorry, BJ, we got a show coming up. We really got to practice. Just completely dismissing him. Not like we're going to turn it down. We're going to be over quickly, but just like shutting him down. So needless to say, he can't sleep well. The next day, after once again failing to convince me to use a phone or to give him a ride, he's just like, fuck this. He's been there for probably like a week now, and he just takes off in the desert, hoping that he can kind of like maybe hitchhike or flag somebody down or something like that. So he just ends up walking through the desert in the middle of the day, sun beating down on him. He passes out from dehydration, and one of the like bodyguards or whatever finds him and brings him back to the house. So he quickly realizes that his escape isn't possible. But again, I keep reiterating, you're free to leave at any time, which he is. He just can't get out. The stress starts to get to him. He starts losing it on people in the crew, and he'll be like pleading with somebody to like help him out, and they'll just give him a blank, like they're staring right through him with like a dumb smile on their face. Infuriating to him. So we'll just start like throttling somebody, or he'll like start smacking somebody in the face, just like losing it on people because he's just so stressed out and desperate. He breaks a bottle at one point and attacks me with it and like cuts my arm really badly. And you would subdue him and bring him back to his room, and he reluctantly agrees to do the commercial because he's like, this is the only way I'm getting out of here is to do this commercial. He goes in, he reads the line dressed up like a baby. He has to say, I'm a baby again, in a baby voice. I'm a baby again. I'm a baby again. I'm a baby again. So after a couple takes of that, at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? We're going to have to reshoot it again tomorrow. Only this time, you're going to have to make a poopy's face. And he's like, oh God. So the next day, we reshoot it. But I'm at the end of the day, I'm like, well, let's get him a bigger rattle, or a big, let's film it again tomorrow. I keep finding little things wrong with it, so he has to keep refilming. So after like multiple reshoots, he's been on the ranch for like 3 months now. He's lost like 30 pounds, can never really sleep well. He passes out regularly. Every day it's the same thing. He just shows up, goes to filming, and goes back home. And and I'm never satisfied with his performance. He comes to like robotically assimilate to this routine of just like his like spirit is completely broken. And after about 3 months, I throw a party, and he can kind of hear it from his room, and he hears my band playing. I like that old time rock and roll. And so he walks out and he goes to the party, and he like looks through a window, and he can see it's the whole cast of The Office is there. And I like brought him out to have this party. And he's like, fuck. And he sees like he gets that fight back inside of him. He's like, oh man, this is my opportunity to get out. I'll just go in and talk to one of these people and they'll help me out. So he goes to get into the party, and the bouncer's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Novak, I don't see you on the guest list. I don't think you've been invited to this. I can't let you in. So he's like, pushes past the bouncer and just like stumbles into the party. He bumps into, he's like completely exhausted. He bumps into Mindy Kaling and knocks her into a table of my own brand of 100% agave tequila that I made. And he starts ranting about how I'm holding him captive, and he's demanding that John Krasinski or whatever give him a ride home, or somebody let him use the phone. Just babbling incoherently. Looks like shit. Rail thin, eyes sunken, like pale skin. Looks like he's just on something. And so I have some bouncers come in and take him out, and I'm up on the stage because I've been playing in my band, and I'm like, guys, I'm so sorry about that. BJ is obviously struggling. I'm going to have my on-site doctor check him out and then get him somewhere where he can get some help first thing in the morning. And everybody claps and cheers for me and tells me like what a good guy I am. BJ manages to grab an electrical cable from the party, and he tries to hang himself in his room. And the light fixture breaks, and he falls down and is knocked unconscious. And he's woken up the next day by the humming of an idling car outside. He looks out the window and he's like, fuck, somebody left a car here. So he's like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. So he gets in the car, and it's one of those self-driving cars. And on the screen it says, this car is programmed to drive to the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino. No stops will be made. You will not be able to leave the vehicle until the destination is reached. Do you wish to proceed? So he kind of has no choice really. So he's like, yeah, he hits proceed. So the doors lock and the car starts driving. And I'm sitting there by the entrance smoking a cigarette, and the car just like runs into me and like knocks me down, but keeps going. And it's driving into town. It's like driving really slowly. And the only thing in the car is a case of White Claw, alcoholic sparkling water, made with the world's first triple wave filtered vodka and real juice. Ever see what gigantic waves do to rocks and shells in the surf? So they smooth out the rough edges and reveal character. They do the same for our vodka and soda, making this the world's smoothest vodka and soda. Different flavors are pineapple, peach, wild cherry, watermelon, and yeah, that's it. And it's just a very refreshing, basically sparkling water with 4.5% alcohol content, so you can get a little tipsy while you hydrate. Great product. I know you guys talked about trying, and you say it's pretty good. So
it's really good.
Really good, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's a case of that, in the car. So he's locked in this car for like 5-6 hours as it drives to Vegas. So he's just crushing these White Claws because he's got nothing else to do. And on the stereo is just good old time rock and roll playing over and over and over again. He's like in and out of consciousness because he's so like just completely out of it. And eventually the car crashes right into the MGM Grand red carpet of like a fight night is happening. And so it's a red carpet with all these celebrities and paparazzi and stuff. And he just staggers out of this car, drunk off his ass. He's been pissing in the car because he had nowhere else to go because he couldn't get out, just like reeking like alcohol. The cops show up. He blows like a 2.5, 2.5, whatever it is. And he immediately gets arrested. It's a big scandal. And so obviously he tries to press charges, but there's no real evidence of anything I've ever done to him. And then he tries to sue me. So it's this big, like, big to do. And he alleges that I held him captive and tortured him over the course of several months. And when it comes time for my legal team to present the case, I show surveillance footage of him just like crushing water that are in vodka bottles. So it looks like he's just drinking straight up vodka. Looks like he's just eating pills like crazy. I show videos of him like losing it on the crew, and like cutting me with a bottle and running me over with a car. And I make the case that he just stayed, he wouldn't leave, and was really abusive, drunk, and violent. Of course, the judge favored like jury, or I don't know how those things work, but they like overwhelmingly favor me. And so I sue him for like a shitload of money. And as I'm leaving, I lean in and whisper to his ear, and I'm like, "Your fucking storyline ruined The Office, you dumb motherfucker." And I walk out. And that's the end.
Dumb motherfucker, huh?
Like, your storyline ruined The Office, you dumb motherfucker. I leave. Or I call him a useless piece of shit or something like that. I don't know. But something that really like that's just makes him think, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You lost.
He lost. I won. He lost.
You lose.
And this is something that I meticulously planned, all because he, in my opinion, he just took his character too far in The Office, and it ruined it. It's my favorite show. I invited the entire cast over for a party on my dime.
My wife said that he's actually the father of Mandy Kendall's child.
Is that right?
Yeah, donated the sperm, deposited it.
Oh, really? Oh,
filled that dial up.
Yeah.
Hit the road.
Yeah, I didn't know his shit. I didn't know his boys swam like that. Respect.
Because he's not all that bad.
Do you think I should have gone harder on him?
No.
I think fantasies like this can spiral into just like mean torture stuff, which isn't really rewarding, you know?
Yeah.
This had a story.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I wanted him to like propelled by his own greed and kind of like aloofness and maybe naivety, found himself in a situation that he's just way in over his head.
Did you see that movie he made recently?
I just wanted to say I forgot to add that I released the commercial that he's in during the Super Bowl, like during the highest, like right before the halftime show, during like the peak viewing, and it's him as different race babies saying, "I'm a baby again."
You're also destroying your own company by doing this, but you don't care.
Yeah, I don't put my company name on it, and nobody really like. You really have to kind of dig a little bit deep to figure out that it's my company.
Yeah,
I also don't care because I'm going to be fine. I could run my company. It's one of those things where like the company could crash and burn tomorrow, and I would still come out of it super rich.
That's cool.
Do you want to go, Johnny, or do you want to?
All right, so I'm a Uber driver. It's Thanksgiving. Weather is terrible. We're in Cleveland, and the airport's shut down. I'm driving around hotels, picking up people. I see this guy that's just like decked out in really expensive clothes. I go over to him. He hops in. It's Jimmy Fallon. And I sort of like, I get a little starstruck, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, you're that guy, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Jimmy Fallon." I'm just like he immediately does what I think he's gonna do, and he's just kind of a prick. I'm just like, "Okay, yeah, you're famous." So he gets in. I start telling him about like the storm that came through. I'm just like, "Yeah, we had a really bad storm come through the east, just a cyclone vortex of snow, and he's just like, uh-huh. And I keep talking about it, and I'm looking at him, and he's just texting. And I just decided that moment, I'm just staring at him in the mirror, and I decided that moment that I'm going to kill him tonight. So we start driving, and I'm looking back at him. He's texting, like he's just on his phone. He was not paying attention to me. I asked him if he wants water, and he's like, I don't want anything. So I start driving really fast. It's like I'm hitting like little ice patches and like kind of spinning out. And he's like, whoa, easy, fucking easy, dude, chill. I'm just like, I'm like, it's like this everywhere. Like, just hold on, we'll be fine. And I'm driving really fast. I'm like on the highway, going like 90 and like 2 inches of snow. Just keep slamming on the brakes. There's like no one on the road but me. So I slam really hard on the brakes and hit this little guardrail. We're going like, at this point, we're going like 45. So it's like, it's fast enough to like fuck someone up. He hits his head and gets knocked out. I drive him back to my house. He's completely knocked out. He would drive back to my house. I grab his phone, and it said he's texting like his assistant. And he's just like, this Uber driver smells like fucking shit. It really pisses me off. So I duct tape him to my bed, and I'm checking to see if he's alive. Like he's kind of grunting, and every time I want to like kind of get him charged up, I light his sock on fire. Like, you know how like if you're wearing like a wool sock, you can just kind of. So I do that, and he like kind of pops up, and he asked me for water. He's like, can I get like a cup of water? He doesn't really know what's going on yet. Like, he doesn't know that he's just fucking out of it. He's like, I can get like a cup of water. So I go outside and I grab a cup of snow and just hand it to him. It's like fucking, there's just like dirt in it. And he's just like, oh, thanks, bro. Thank you so much. He keeps calling me buddy. He's like one of those fucking guys. Let's calling people buddy. Like, hey, buddy. And I don't like that. He's like, do you mind if we turn on the TV and like just watch something while we wait for the storm to pass? So I turn on a porno. I'm laying right next to him. I turn on this porno, and he's like, what is this? I've never seen it. And it's like the start of a porno. I make him watch the entire thing. It's like a compilation. Like, there's no story. It's like 4 or 5 hours. And he's just he's still out of it. And he's like, I'm getting pretty hungry. He's like, do you have any food? Like, you gonna do like a Thanksgiving spread or anything like that? Like, he's trying to be my buddy. I'm just like, oh, you want like a full Thanksgiving dinner right now? And he's like, well, something just hold me over until tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, well, I got Thanksgiving stuff. I'll make something for you. So I leave the room. He notices that he's duct taped to the bed, and he's like, fuck. So I'm going in the kitchen. I look in the fridge. There's deli meat, like there's deli turkey, and there's like a can of gravy. It's like all I have. So I heat up the turkey in a pan, just kind of fry it up, and I bring it into him, and he's like, wow, this is really good. Thanks, buddy. And I'm like, you like it? And he's like, yeah, it's pretty good. He's like, he's like, my family does different stuff. Like, usually for Thanksgiving, we like to go out to eat, and we go to this Michelin rated restaurant, and like, he's like, it's really good. They make like Thanksgiving food, but it's like a fusion based thing. So it's like, there's like some Asian stuff with it, and it's just really good. And I'm like, do you want something else? And he's like, no, this is fine. I'm like, no, let me make you something else, Jimmy. I walk past, like, I've got a jar of change on the dresser, and I grab like a penny and I flick it at his head. It just like hits like right above his eye, and he's like, gee, he's like, fuck. And I'm like, I'll be right back. So I go in there, I make like I find a can of Spam and some rice. I'm just gonna make like some Hawaiian type, like, you know, fucking sushi thing. So I like fry up this Spam, and he gets out of the duct tape, and he knows what's going on. You know, he knows that I'm gonna hurt him, and he's still trying to be cool. He's not complaining at all, and he walks in there, and I'm fucking crying because I don't really want to be doing this, but I am. I'm committed to it. And he's like, "What's going on, buddy?" I'm just like, nothing. I'm fine. He like tries to hug me, and I like start pushing him. He's like, "No, come here." No. He's like, "It's all right, man." He's like, "Come here." He keeps trying to hug me. I like shove him into the fridge. He hits his head again and falls down. So I duct tape him again and to my couch this time. And he falls back asleep. He's knocked out again. He wakes up and there's just like this Spam, sort of this thing that I tried to make for him. It was like on the menu of the restaurant that he liked. And he's like, "Did you make this for me, dude?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, this is what you normally do at Thanksgiving, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is actually really good." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you like it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I love it." And I'm watching Jimmy Fallon highlights on YouTube. It's like fucking blaring, and it shows multiple guests, like him doing like a carpool karaoke sort of thing, you know. And I was like, I just fucking love this bit, man. He's like, "This is one of my favorite things." He's like, this is why I do what I do. And I'm like, who's like your favorite? He's like, I love chilling with Questlove. He's so funny. I'm like, you mean the drummer from The Roots? And he's like, yeah, he's in my band. The Roots are my house band. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I'm a drummer too. We talk about drums a little bit. I'm just like, this guy's pretty fucking cool. I'm like, "Do you need to go to the bathroom?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so I let him up. I hear him go into the bathroom, and he pukes up what I made him. And then he walks out, and he's like, "Man," he's like, "I wish I could have more of that. I'm just so full." And I just look at him. I'm holding a can of Spam. And I just wind up, and I throw it at his forehead as hard as I can. He just starts, you know, in that movie, the Richard Gere movie where he hits the guy in the head with the snow globe.
Unfaithful.
It's Unfaithful. It's like that. Like I was just trying to play with him. You know what I mean? Like I was just trying to play, and I just see the blood. Like there's so much blood just coming down his face that I know Jimmy has passed.
It's an accident.
It's an accident. So I bury him in my backyard with his phone. And that's the fantasy.
Oh, man. I love how you kept knocking him out because he's got to be like the smallest guy in the world. Just so easy to knock him out.
Like when you're driving.
You're only going like 45.
But just
really
reckless.
Slam on my brakes.
Yeah.
Just being really overtly reckless, but saying it's fine. Everyone drives like this. Yeah, it's kind of like Misery.
A little bit like Misery.
You're a little bit afraid of what you had to do.
He didn't make it easy for you, you know?
No, he's actually Jimmy Fallon. I know people are annoyed by him, but I think he's a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Got it too. Whatever you want to say about him.
Hard worker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that I was going to do an ongoing thing where I keep flicking a penny at him, and I keep saying, "Penny for your thoughts," and I flick a penny at his head.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
You kind of had a thing where it was kind of like a little bit of that Philip Seymour Hoffman energy where you're like, I don't want to hurt you. You know? I don't want to. But then he says something and you just fly into a rage.
Uh-huh.
You know? You don't want to be doing it. But
I'm gonna hurt her. I'm gonna hurt her bad. What is her name, sir? What is your name? Man, that movie, I like that movie.
I gotta watch
What's
that
that
again.
from?
I think it's
Mission
MI
Impossible 2 or
3?
3.
It's
Oh.
not 2.
I think it's 3 where he's the bad guy.
Yeah, Phil goes off on it.
Oh, I gotta watch that again. But yeah, I just really liked that. He just painted such a dark picture of like Fallon. He's being held duct taped to a bed, held captive, but he can't help but to be charming and caring for you. But he needs to die. He needed to die.
He had to die.
He's gotta die.
Yeah, that was great.
Thanks.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here.
Yeah.
I'm like a low T, one of these low T kind of guys. You know what I mean? My voice is a little high. Around the age of 35 to 40, you'll start noticing your natural hormone levels are starting to get lower. Around that time, you might want to start reaching out to Male XL. It's a life-changing healthcare thing you can do online. Bioidentical testosterone replacement therapy. Getting older is inevitable. Feeling older is a choice. Benefits of bioidentical testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, can help your mood, increase your lean muscle, decrease visceral fat, increase energy, less stress, better memory, improve focus, and better sleep. You guys have heard people complaining about the podcast how my voice is too high. They think I'm starting to lower my testosterone. Well, this service, you contact them online and they just start sending you needles and stuff and you just start popping them in. Again, that's Male XL and you can find them at malexl.com. Click on it to get started and you can get your at-home test kit and then you choose your preferred treatment plan. You can either do injections starting at $90 a month or you can do a lipoderm cream. I've been doing the cream. I've been running it all over my hands. And I know it's working because Nora is just getting so strong and her voice is also getting deeper, my daughter. And it's working for me, it's working for her, it's working for everyone. So a little testosterone on your baby is fine if you're worried about that, but it's really helping me. You can see my hair is getting stronger, my voice is deeper. You guys have mentioned that my memory's better and my body is leaner.
Mm-hmm.
Let's check it out, fellas. So in this fantasy, I'm one of these guys that is just like driving around Los Angeles and he's obsessed with Rosamund Pike. and I'm just like a super fan, but I'm also like a compulsive gambler. And I'm always gambling on baseball games, getting stressed out. I'm always driving around doing like deliveries for my business where my business is like sales for just some shit in a warehouse that I own. You know what I mean? It's just like whatever's there. I'm just like trying to sell to different people. It doesn't really quite make any sense. Basically, essentially, I'm a loser, even though I'm making a standard like middle class income. I'm a loser because no one knows me, knows who I am. I provide for my family, but that's not enough. I'm a nobody. You know what I mean? And I'm just like gambling, losing money, bad lieutenant style. Occasionally, I'll visit a prostitute and smoke crack with them, but that's just like on and off. And I have like this like there's a locker room inside of my office and it's just filled with pictures of Rosamund Pike, like from magazines and stuff that I've straight up just like wheat pasted all over the place. It's just like a funny thing. Like my family is like thinks it's like a cute funny thing. I see Rosamund Pike in Beverly Hills. I'm like there to I'm in my car, I'm all sweaty and just feeling like shit. I just like ate a roast beef sandwich, and I'm waiting for my fuck up nephew, who's just like a little drug addict idiot, to come back in from dropping off these packages at some store in Beverly Hills on Beverly Hills Avenue. And I see Rosamund Pike coming out, and she has a bunch of tiny dogs, a handsome husband, and she's coming out of a place shopping or whatever, talking on her cell phone, arguing with her agent. I basically, I'm honking on my horn so hard to get my nephew, Ronnie, into the car. And my car just like making farting noises and smoke's coming out of the back. I'm just like a piece of shit. And I see Rosamund Pike. I spit out my roast beef sandwich and I run out and I'm like, this is Pike. This is Pike. You know what I mean? And the guy straight up just clocks me right in the face and I fall on my ass. Humiliated. And he's like, he's got a boner. You can see that I have a boner. She's like, that's disgusting. Cause she is one of, as we discussed in the last episode, we didn't get to record it, but we're talking about just like what an ice queen she is. John said that when she has sex, her eyes turn black. And I can't stop thinking about that. That was one of the creepiest, scariest things I've ever heard. And she is emotionally impenetrable. And I see that, and the guy just is stomping me in front of her, kicking me in the ribs and stuff, and just like beating the shit out of me and laughing. And he's just fit as fuck. He rips his white suit jacket off, and he's just wearing a tank top, and he throws it on me. He's like, here, clean yourself up. You look like shit. Spits on the floor and walks away. I completely lose my shit. I get divorced from my wife. I come home. This is like the last straw. I was just supposed to drop this stuff off. The deal falls through. Ronnie gets arrested or something, and my wife leaves me. And I just move into the Y, and I just start working out super hard. And yeah, I'm low T, bald, and you know, I'm a nobody, and no one will remember me when I die. But I start working out and stuff, getting really buff, and I start my own landscaping business. I go over to Rosamund Pike's house, and I'm like, I got my boys with me, my guys, my nephew and his buddy, I broke his hands. I broke his hands with a hammer, so he's still recovering and he's scared, but he knows like I own. He's family, so he's still working for me. And I'm like, these are my boys, and we're here to give you some discount landscaping. Her husband or boyfriend, I haven't done the research, shows up, and he's like, get the fuck out of here. Her little dog shows up, and I actually have a little dog treat and a sweater I made for the dog. And Rosamund Pike sees this, and she's like, let him do whatever he wants, you big dummy. And the guy's like, I'm watching you. And we just we go around back in the property. I'm like looking around, and I'm already like have masturbated a couple times, like on the property, and like pissed and like shat in the pond. I have the guys, my nephews, like stage a fight with the with whoever Rosamund Pike is in a relationship with, and they're beating the shit out of each other and stuff like that. I grease myself up and I crawl like inside the house. I have blueprints and everything, so I know how to like hide inside the house. And I'm just hiding in the house for like months, poisoning her animals, taking pictures of her. I put on different costumes and stuff, and I like act like I'm a different races, like I'm tending to the garden. I'm here to deliver these things. Don't you remember? Because she has so much money that she doesn't even realize like these services she has. And I'm slowly poisoning her family and stuff, and like people around her, making them all sick. One day she's showering sexily in the shower, and she's looking at herself in the mirror, and her eyes turn totally black. And she has like some sort of like demon energy or something going on, and I gasp. I'm probably hallucinating because I've been like living in this house for too long. I gasp. I'm in the vent in the ceiling, and she turns around. She like kind of sees and hears me scuttle away. So she grabs a shotgun, just starts shooting into the ceiling. You know what I mean? Robotically. Like she has no expression on her face at all. She's just like, I know you're on here somewhere. She blasts one of my feet really bad, and I fall out of the ceiling. And I'm like, please. And she's like, please? I don't show mercy for slime like you low T worm, biracial worm. Shoots my goddamn head off. I wake up, it was all a dream. I'm still in the hospital for the time that whoever her boyfriend or husband is beat the living daylights out of me. I come to, it's all a dream. I changed my life. You know what I mean? I gotta get rid of this fantasy with this woman I don't even know. You know what I mean? Her icy demeanor is just really taking a hold of me. I start thinking about my relationship to women and like my business. Like, is this where I want to be? Is this what I want? You know what I mean? And I just get my stuff together. You know what I mean? And I do start a landscaping business, and it turns out to be pretty successful. And you know what? So what if I'm not famous? My kids love me, respect me, and isn't that good enough? And then I see Rosamund Pike again. You know what I mean? I'm doing another delivery downtown, doing some landscaping in Beverly Hills, and I see her walking around, and I don't do anything this time. I just let her walk by, and she actually bends over in front of me because she dropped a tissue paper. She was blowing her nose. She drops the tissue paper and bends down, and she's wearing her short skirt. I don't even look to see what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm busy looking at pictures of my wife and kids on my phone. And I roll down my window. I'm just like, you dropped something, honey? And I roll the window back up. And the windows are tinted and she can't see me. So I don't even care. That's it.
After all that sparring back and forth, you got the last laugh.
Yeah, you're not going to ruin me. And she did. At the end of the day, she didn't do anything wrong. I projected all this stuff on her because that's what a good actress does.
Yeah.
They could be anyone.
Yeah, that was great. I looked up her husband. Do you want to get a look at him, Mike?
Yeah, share the screen with me.
Did you look him up too, John?
I looked her up because
Does he have glasses?
No. Look at this fucking gargoyle.
Whoa, this is different than what I imagined.
Right?
This is a little skinny. He looks genetically British.
Yeah.
this
tell me this-
this makes sense.
No
to
way
me.
this guy's American.
No, he's definitely British. It looks like
Looks like Jim
This
Varney.
changes everything.
Looks like
Jim Barney
yeah.
and David Bowie had a baby.
Yeah.
Looks like fucking Tom Petty fucking skeleton.
Yeah. Apparently he did a bunch of like he's like a businessman. And he did a bunch of illegal shit at his firm, and he got banned from being like doing business in England for like 4 years.
What?
Yeah, I didn't get too much into it, but that's just what the, yeah.
That's so weird. Robbie, huh?
I could break
Well,
that
he's
dude.
pure evil.
I know.
Yeah, I feel like I could break his arm just by
Shaking
one
just
hand.
shaking his hand, you could break it.
Look at this.
He's one of these. He's like a sinewy guy.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
what that means. Like a sinewy British
God, look at this
guy.
fucking psycho. Look at him.
Oh my god. This is weird. It's dude. It's actually even makes her even creepier.
Yeah, it does.
Way creepier.
Oh my god. What?
She took her kids out of school to watch the funeral of the Queen.
Oh
I was
boy.
reading.
Oh, that's right. She's British.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's British?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't know. I said that's right. I just put two and two together. I said what I should have said is, oh, she's British. Okay. Weird, creepy.
I know. It just makes her even like. I think your read was absolutely correct, both for both of you guys, as to the kind of person she is. Completely psychopath. She's also invested in as an investor and like front person for an app, a meditation app that's supposed to give you a psychedelic experience.
That's like brainwashing stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's something that like the push-in community would not tolerate any kind of garbage like that. They're all about warmth and connection. She's the real gone girl.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about her anymore. I don't even think about or talk about this woman anymore. I'm sick of it.
I think, and the husband looks pretty good in some other photos. It looks like he's fallen under hard times with the business stuff, and he's just kind of aged himself rapidly. He looks like a cool guy.
Yeah, he does. You know, he'd show you a good time.
Yeah,
he would.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He'd keep you away from Rosamund, but he would show you a good time.
Definitely.
And she would hate your fucking guts if she saw you hanging around her husband. You know what I mean?
He would like take you out on his yacht and show you a good time. And she would come up from like below deck and with some like register some kind of complaint, but completely ignore you. You know what I mean? Like he would be like, Rosamund, dear, this is Nathan. He's blah, 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 blah. And she'd be like, the water's too cold in the fucking shower. You know what I mean? Just go right back downstairs.
Yeah.
I bet she has a lot of phallic sculpture around the house.
No doubt about it.
Like just a shit ton of like big dick sculpture.
There's no doubt about it.
I am into this woman.
You can tell she's into huge dick sculptures. You can just tell.
Yeah. She's all class.
I want to do a just a quick round. Remember how we were like going off like taking turns just like thinking about Santa Claus doing different things?
Uh-huh.
I want to do a round robin fantasy thing, torture fantasy for James Corden.
Oh. That little fat shit. Little chunky boy.
How do you win a son of a bitch over like that to get into his realm to drive him crazy to begin with, you know?
I think it'd be funny to, because isn't he like just an absolute psycho to like waiters and stuff like that?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. He got in trouble recently for just being a piece of shit.
He didn't like, and he was upset about how the eggs were cooked at some restaurant.
I think it would be funny to just keep hiding in different places around his house and like jumping out and scaring him and running away.
Yeah, but he's like really, you're doing it in a gleeful way, but he's super scared.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to be in his house.
The not knowing where it's coming from. Just imagine if that happened to you. It would be fucking unnerving.
Yeah, he's on the phone with someone. He's like, I'm really scared right now. There's men all in my house. I don't know where they're coming from. God damn it. You know? Oh shit. You know what I mean? I don't care. I don't know where they came from. I just want them the fuck out of here.
What would you do to him, John?
So wait, you're jumping out of things in his house?
Yeah, like I'm in.
You've broken into his house?
One day I'm in his laundry hamper, and then I'm in a closet, and they jump out, and I'm like, boo. And then I run away. Another day I'm like curled up in his fridge, and it's like, it might be a month apart.
But you're kind of hurting him too.
Yeah. Like I push out of the closet, and I hit him in the head with the door.
I'd like to like shrink all of his clothes. Like do all those, just like little pranks around the house. Like remove screws from things until like furniture starts to kind of like fall apart on him.
Make him think his house is haunted.
Yeah.
It's cool to do that thing where you start making everything around him smaller. So he thinks he's getting bigger and bigger.
He has like a twin. He comes home to a twin bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to turn all his loved ones against him. You know what I mean? And make them like he knows that I'm evil and I'm out to get him.
Yeah.
But I've somehow like convinced all of his loved ones that he needs help and that he has a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just you know what I mean? He's trying to call me out. He's like, he's using you. He's the bad one. He's the bad one.
Just makes him seem crazier and crazier.
And I'm like, you're gonna get the help you need. I hate to see you like this. I'm sorry you feel that way. You're making me very sad. I'm like hugging his family and they're all nestled in me. And then I like look up and I'm smiling at him. And I do a little tongue flicky thing. I'm like,
I would like to sneak in, like I'm in his house already from scaring him, and then I give him I give him like chloroform or something while he's sleeping, and he wakes up in a bunker, like a like fallout shelter bunker, and I convince him that there's been a nuclear holocaust and he has to live out the rest of his life in this bunker with me. I saw you passed out in a pile of like radiation. I dragged you into my shelter, and we got to stay in here, otherwise we're gonna die.
yeah, it's all a lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like his pantry that he never goes into.
Yeah, it's a wine cellar.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a blowtorch. He's tied to a chair. There's rubber bands around his nuts. I got his family there. But they're all smiling. And I've like brainwashed them. And I have a blowtorch. And I was like, I can do anything I want with them. And I grab one of their hands and have a blowtorch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, which one do you love the most? You know what I mean? I'm getting the blowtorch closer and closer to each of his family members' hands until I find the one he loves the most. It's probably like the youngest daughter. And I was like, oh, it's her, huh? You know?
Yeah, I like that one. I throw a pillowcase over his head and I throw him into a van, like a bunch of guys, and I drive him out to a black site, and I have him strapped to a chair with cable ties, and I keep pulling out his fingernails until he gives me his PIN number for his bank, and I withdraw all of his money and put it in like an offshore account and just leave him there wherever I found him.
I like to blow him on like a homosexual tryst, like as a male prostitute.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And to completion, he busts all over my face. I'm toweling off, and I'm like, all right, I'll see you later. He gets into his car, and I'm behind him in the car, and I have a knife to his throat, and I'm like, just drive. We go driving, and there's construction workers, and I'm like, don't try anything stupid. There's also police officers stop by, they're checking cars because he's missing. No, they're just checking cars. And I get in the front seat. I'm like, don't do anything stupid. I'll kill this fucking cop. The cop starts asking too many questions. I shoot him right in the face in front of Roger Corbin's head, or whatever his name is. I take him to the woods. We fuck all night long. Anything goes. He's afraid. And then I tell him that it was all made up. None of it happened. That's how it ends. It was all made up. None of it happened.
You got any ideas, John?
I take him to an amusement park, and I'm just like, everything's on me today, James. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, everything. So like, we buy like a fast pass, like we can get on the rides like immediately. And I pay for all his food. He's pretty drunk. Like he's just buzzed all day. I have like weed gummies for him. And then the very last ride, which is like the biggest roller coaster, I pay the kid that puts us on the ride. I pay him like $100 to make sure that his seatbelt's not fastened at all. And like, so we're going up this huge hill, and James is like, I don't think I'm fully in. I was like, it's fine. Like they double checked, and he's like, no, I'm not in. I'm just like, what? And he's like, yeah, it is not like, I am not in at all. Like I could get off of this right now. And we're like, we reached the peak.
Yeah.
And I like look over at him. I start laughing, and I put my hands up and I'm just like, yeah. And I just start screaming.
Yeah.
We go down this huge thing, and it goes into a loop, and he's just holding on to the thing that goes over you, and he's just his feet are dangling.
Yeah.
He makes it around the first loop, and then it goes into like a corkscrew, which is just the sidewinding thing. And he's just like experiencing like 6 G's like all over his body while just clutching onto this thing. And eventually he gets He gets whipped off going probably 120 miles per hour and hits like a telephone pole.
His head blows up.
I picture we're at a Korean barbecue place, and I keep ordering him like a bunch of sake. We're just getting like completely fucked up, and there's a bunch of people, like a bunch of mutual friends and stuff like that. And he's like holding court and telling a bunch of jokes, and everybody's cracking up. And he's pretty sloppy drunk, and he is in the middle of an anecdote, and he looks over, and he realizes I'm cooking his hand on one of those stoves that they have, and I'm slicing it like I've cooked his hand to like medium rare, and I'm slicing into one of his fingers, and I'm about to eat it.
That's disgusting. Okay, a real quick one. I'm his drug dealer / homosexual lover, and I'm like, yeah, we'll go over to the Cocos. We'll go to the Cocos. You gotta drive me around, man. We gotta go drive. He's like, I don't want to pick you up. I'm gonna go hang out with my kids. I'm like, you want me to blow you or not? You want this Coke? So you can pick me up. We're driving in LA. LA's they have a lot of driving there. I just have him start smoking PCP with me, and he starts acting weird. I'm like, you're acting weird as fuck, bro. Stop acting like a fucking little bitch. And I just like keep feeding him more and more PCP, and I start getting angry at him because he's not smoking, because he's not acting like he's not smoking PCP. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That druggy rage where you get angry for people act high. And I start just hitting his head with like a piece of pipe I carry around with him while he's driving. We crash. And I'm like, come on, bro, let's get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm dragging his ass. He's like, oh shit, I'm really tripping. I'm freaking out. Why'd you hit me? I'm like, because you can't handle your shit, bitch. You know what I mean? We start taking an LA bus. You know what I mean? It's just full of like homeless people and drug addicts. Everyone's mean and cruel to each other. Dude, we fucking smoked the rest of that PCP in the back of that bus, and some Latino gangbangers come up and they're like, yo, you can't be smoking on here. I'm like, what are you going to do about it? Beat the shit out of my friend, James Corden? And they're like, yeah, we'll do that, dude. And I'm like, I dare you to, dude. I blow PCP smoke right in their faces, so that triggers like gangbangers really bad. Mm-hmm. And they beat his ass, and you can see there's footage of him like pounding on the windows, and kids are just taking videos of him and just laughing on the highway. They're beating his ass.
I picture him getting just shit kicked out of him, and there's just like on the bus, there's somebody with a phone aimed at him, just being like,
yeah, totally. Everyone's just like videotaping it because the whole bus is lit up now.
Yeah, you just hotbox that thing with PCP.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't handle his shit, so fuck him.
Yeah, that's true. You got to be able to maintain if you're going to be cruising with Mike, man.
For real.
All right, well, that's all I got in me.
Yeah. All right,
guys.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.